So I am a nurse at Fort Hamilton in the ICU, and I had went into my patient's room to start an IV, and we were using a butterfly needle to start the IV. When I attempted to use, I probably need to say that again. I attempted to use the IV. So I just start at the attempted? Or just start all over? Okay. My name's Andrea, and I'm a nurse in the ICU at Fort Hamilton. I had come into my patient's room, and I was going to start an IV. I was using a butterfly needle. When I attempted to use the IV, I attempted, and I was unsuccessful in getting the IV. So I pulled back on the needle, and I had thought that I pulled the needle all the way back. But unfortunately, when I went to put the needle in the sharps container, I pushed down with my index finger, and the needle went into my finger at that time because the needle actually wasn't pulled all the way back. And so we have since then changed our IVs to different starting kits that we use now. And it is really important to make sure that when you pull back on your, when you're using your needle to insert your IV, that you pull back all the way and that you know that it's clicked and it's locked back. So.
Should I record it then?
The patient that I actually I was taking care of that day was kind of low risk. I wasn't as scared as if there was someone who was high risk. The patient, though, was on dialysis, so that was a risk that I had. And so my first thought was, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go down to the ER and have them take my blood and check and make sure everything's okay, because you just never know. So that was very scary when I had to do that. And then you also have to leave your patients for that time that you have to leave the floor, and you could be gone for an hour at least to go off the floor. So I knew my patients weren't going to be with me. And then the last was that I had to go and tell my patient that I had stuck myself with the needle. So that was kind of scary as well, to have to tell them that. And because you knew that then they were going to be worried about you, and you're the one who's supposed to be the caretaker for them.
So I think you addressed this, but can you just do
In this situation, the one thing that I would definitely have done differently is that I would have made sure when I pulled the needle, when I pulled the needle out of the patient, that I would have pulled back all the way and made sure that the needle clicked back, and even took a look at it to make sure the needle was no longer sticking out. And if I would have done that, I for sure would have prevented myself from, when I went to that sharps container, from sticking myself when I put the needle into the sharps container.
that was great.
No.
You did wonderful.
Okay.